Hey traders, John Howell here. In today's video, I want to share with you what I see happening in the long-term view happening right now when it comes to the gold mining stocks and when it comes to the silver mining stocks and also silver and gold, and just some things that I see that are forming and that are still happening right now when it comes to these markets. So let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, it's the $7 trading course, that flash sale that I'm running right now just for $7 is ending real soon. It's only got a few days left, so make sure you go to johnsflashsale.com. There should be a link in the description. Go get that. There's like 10 videos, 12 hours long. So make sure you go and grab access to that. So the thing that I want to share with you right now is a long-term view. Okay, this is not what's going to happen this week or this month. All right, this is a big long-term view. Is that if you're looking to invest in the markets, and I know a lot of you guys have been so a bit disheartened. You've been a bit pissed, so to speak. Right? Let's just call it what it is. Right? You've been a bit pissed about what's been happening with silver and gold. But hear me out, okay? Hear me out. This is for people here. This is not for. I'm gonna repeat myself again. This is not for what's gonna happen this week. But I truly believe fortunes will be made from the greatest bull markets in history. That it's gonna unfold as the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years unfold. Okay, fortunes will be made, and I believe that more fortunes will be made by putting positions on for the next 10 years than trying to time the markets over, getting in and getting out, and here's the bottom, here's the top, here's the drop, and, swing and all that sort of stuff, right? I truly believe. Now, that's not with all markets, but this is what I truly believe. Now, obviously, there's no guarantees of this happening, but I just want to let you know what I personally do, okay? So for me personally, I've been trading the markets now for 16 years personally. And probably my first could say, probably half of my trading career, I never used to do any long-term stuff. I was in and out within a couple of days or in and out within a couple of weeks. And then sometimes a month or two, you know what I mean? But I never focused on the long-term stuff. I never focused on holding for 12 months or 2 years or seeing where big long-term trends are going and having that money aside. That's where property investing, right? If you look at property investing is like that. But I truly believe that when we're looking at these gold mining stocks, some of these gold mining stocks and some of these silver and gold, I truly believe we're going to see historic moves coming. Now, guys, the historic move in the gold mining stocks, okay, so the historic move that I see in the gold mining stocks, silver mining stocks, even gold and silver may not start until next year. So this is the thing. I truly believe that with everything that's going on, the last decade hasn't been for gold and silver. And the mining stocks, right? They've been hit hard the last decade. I believe the new decade, 2020s, is going to be for the decade for miners and metals. So if you're looking to do something like people that invested in Bitcoin, as we know, 2, 3, 4, even 5 years ago, invested in Bitcoin and just held. Actually, that's not true. So 2017 was the top. So, or if you invested in Bitcoin in what's that there? So this is 2020 in 2010, right? If you invested in Bitcoin in 2010 and you held it to where it is to this day, you'd be happy camper, right? So I want you to think about that. And so I want you to encourage you to make sure you have two different positions. If you're an active trader in the markets, which is a hard thing, by the way, you need to have a system, you need to be disciplined, you need to have an approach to trading the markets. Don't just be flying off the wall and getting it because you think it's a good idea, or this is going to bottom here, or this person said this, or this person said that. That's not the way to go across these markets. You're going to do your head in because, guys, I did that for my first 2 or 3 years, and I was down $250,000, and it was really, really tough. And it wasn't until when I first started trading, when I started getting ahead in trading the markets, is because I just followed some simple patterns that appear maybe a couple of times a month, maybe once a week. I might have to wait a couple of months for my trading system to appear. That's how trading works. Anyway, I can get more into detail about that, how to actually understand what goes into a good trader, but. But one of the worst mistakes that I've done over my career is not position myself for the long-term growth that I see happening, and having even a small portion of my money put into an account that is going to be buy and hold for 10 years or 5 years or 6 or 7 years, like that sort of stuff. And so that's what I do now. I have positions in the markets that are positioned for that. And so, like, for example, the GDX, we're looking at the GDXJ right now. And the GDXJ that we're looking at right now, we can see that we're still pretty low, right? We're still pretty low down here. We had a long channel. But I truly believe, guys, yeah, we've been, a lot of people have been so sort of frustrated through this pullback here. But guys, here's the thing, okay? I really want you to understand that your mentality of trying to rush it and force it and trying to make a lot of money really quickly with especially these metals, they're really testing your patience. But I truly believe that patience will pay. And what I mean by that is, 2020, the end of this year, or maybe 2022, we start to really gallop into that bull market. We just never know when that's going to happen. So if you are positioned in some gold mining stocks, well, this is not all gold mining stocks, but if you are positioned in some of like the GDXJ or gold and silver, I truly believe this decade is going to be your decade. I truly believe that. And I see this all over the charts as well too. Like I see this formation here, and I just see this thing. Yeah, we may get a little bit more downward movement out of this here, guys, over the next month or two. But if I had to look back, okay, so if I was an investor and I said, okay, looking at 2025, or heck, you know what? Let's have a long-term plan, right? By the end of this decade, and that's always the hard thing for you guys, isn't it? Because I notice a lot of people, it's like they hate thinking about this decade. They want to make money, this month, and one of the biggest mistakes, for me, guys, as I said before, looking over my lifetime, has always been focusing on the short term, and focusing on that short term, get the money now, instead of placing some money and just letting it go. All my really major successful, even trading opportunities, have come from holding things for a few months or more, not getting in and getting out really, really quickly, right? And so I truly believe fortunes will be made this decade as these things unfold from gold mining stocks. So some of the GDX and GDXJ. I also see the SIL and the SILJ. So we're looking at the SIL and the SILJ right now. And if I bring up this chart here, which is just a logarithmic chart of the SILJ, look where we're at right now. Isn't that crazy? Look where we're at. This is the SILJ. Once we break above this $18, $19 level, oh my goodness, it's on like Donkey Kong. And the same for SIL as well too. Like, look what's happening here. We're going through a bit of a pullback through here. And this is just a pullback in the markets, and it's very, very volatile, right? So it's very hard to predict what's going to happen day by day. And that's what happens in these phases. Quarter time phase, very, 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 very volatile. But once we start to, finally hold and break out, then it's on like Donkey Kong. Once we get it back above that 55 level, guys, then then I truly see that being a really, really, really nice move for the silver SIL. Guys, one silver stock that I personally am in right now for, and I have at least a few year view, is EXK. If I bring up, say, this chart here. So I'm looking at the monthly chart right now, and as you can see, that $6 level there has been a level that has been rejecting this level, that has been rejecting this market for so long. I know that I'm very, very confident, possibly even, this year, or maybe even sometime next year, that we're gonna run past this $6 level, and when it does, it's gonna take off like a rocket, and it's gonna be too late to get into it. So trying to time some of these markets, guys, is never a good idea, because if you try to wait for the right opportunity, guess what? You're generally getting in way too late. So if I bring up this weekly chart and squeeze my weekly chart, as you can see, this $6 level here has been a sort of knock on the window. Once we break above this $6 level, the EXK, I believe, is going to make massive move. Now, if I go back to my gold chart, and a formation that's been forming on the gold chart itself, that I still see forming, is actually, let's go to the GOD, because that's actually got a lot more data there. Is this cup and handle formation, and I know a lot of people have been seeing this. But we still could possibly be forming this cup and handle, guys. It's not over Red Rover yet. The cup and handle still could be forming. And so what I mean by the cup and handle, right? Generally the cup and handle looks like this. We had the big move up, and then you have the cup. And now guess what? We're getting the handle here. So it's just still possibly on this monthly chart, still forming this formation. This is a long-term bullish formation, guys. And the confirmation for me that we're now having a probability of now, having a nice move up is if once we start to hold this and we start to break up, this is the confirmation. We want to break above 200 on the GLD. Once we get that 200, then the projection for that would simply be, you can see I've even got these lines here. Let me take that off the screen. You can see I've even got these lines here from that. If I bring up that, this is the cup situation, as you can see. Right, so there we go, from there to there. Right, so this is the whole cup right there. Cup and then handle situation, as you can see. But the projection level is up here at 260. So what the whole thing about especially investing, guys, for me, I'm waiting for confirmation that we're now likely to see a move. And people say to me sometimes, John, why do you wait for the market to go up to then get in for it to go up? Well, sometimes right now, I don't know when the bottom's going to hold in gold. Like GLD, I don't know. We could end up down at 140 here. It's a possible. We just never know. So for me to get confirmation, now by the way, I'm actually already in gold, and I'm already in silver, and I'm already in the GDXJ, and I'm already in EXK for stock as well too. So I'm in a lot of the miners and metals already, waiting for this opportunity. But if I'm looking for confirmation that we're now likely to be starting that, next leg up, then guess what? Then it all comes back down to, I need the confirmation is this. I need to see a bit of confirmation that we're now likely to be starting that leg, and that'll be a break above this previous high here. If that happens, this here would be that here would be the cup. This here would be the cup. This here would be the handle right there. And if we can get this handle here and break up, then we're probably likely to see a big move, a pretty quick move up from there. So for you guys that for the last 6 months have just been going through all this and been so frustrated at that, guys, just be patient, right? Stop focusing on the price action every single day, right? Look at it maybe once a week. If you're investing, just don't do that, because fortunes are made when doing this. And I'll give you an example, like with Apple. I remember when Apple was going through that crash with the whole virus situation last year, which was right here, right? And I was buying Apple down here. But then guess what happened 12 months later? We're up here somewhere, or where we are right now. It's like fortunes are made for people that are patient. And Warren Buffett says that the market will transfer money from the impatient to the patient. And so patience really pays really big time. And one of the biggest mistakes that I've made through my trading career is not having separate accounts that are more focused on long-term growth. And the same for silver as well too. Silver is one of those things that I see just as the years go on and we become more solar dependent and we have more electric cars and so on and so forth. I just see this thing just being an explosion move. Now again, guys, I don't know when that's going to happen. I believe it's already happened, but things take time. All right. So if someone says a stock market crash in the markets, guess what? That's 2008 stock market crash was 365 days. 365 days, not 1 day, not 30 days, not 60 days. It was 365 days for 2008 to complete. So please keep that in mind as you're approaching these markets, because the perception of what you think is going to appear on the charts is not the case. Every now and then you get these crazy spikes like GameStop, but that's like 1 in a million. Stop trying to focus on that, all right? Focus on the reality of things. If a stock market crash is going to happen, guess what? It's going to take time. Like even the virus situation last year, which was a black swan event, it took over 30 days for that thing to have a pullback. Now, and so on and so forth. So anyway, guys, fortunes will be made from the next biggest, greatest move, but you need to be patient and you need to just be. And it's unfortunate, guys, because, but some of you guys get so cranky. If you get in a position that goes against you, then you're upset. It's like, oh my goodness, it went against me, and you're just worried about it. If you're in a pretty good stock and you're very, very confident over the next 3, 4, 5 years, then don't worry about it, guys. Okay, be patient, because the patience will pay off. I truly, truly believe that. Again, it may not be till next year. It may be 2023, guys, that we start to see it really galloping into a massive bull market. But I truly believe the next 5, 6, 7 years, we look back from that time and we're like, wow, having the miners and metals made a massive move.